Welcome back, and I'm glad you're here because we have a special surprise for you today. And no, it's not just the awesomeness we're about to dive into around NetSuite financials. It's that to do so, we have not one, but two Scotts in the house. So please welcome our Senior Product Marketing Manager, Scott Beaver, immediately to my right, and Senior Director of Business Development, Scott Derksen. Hey guys, how are you?
How's it going, Fritz?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too, and we can be sure that Scott will be answering all the questions.
That's
today.
right. That is absolutely true.
Okay, now starting with the big thing, we announced SuiteBanking today, and can you dive into maybe the top level of this, and we'll get into a little bit more detail.
Sure. I think SuiteBanking is going to deliver efficiency, automation, like what Evan covered in the keynote, which really is going to boil down to cost savings and that sort of thing for our users. Also, access to better visibility in terms of where our customers are on their cash, and giving them access to financial products right inside of the suite where they need it.
Yeah, and that's maybe we heard so much about that during the pandemic, this cash flow visibility and then ultimately optimization. So not that it wasn't important before, but heightened importance during the pandemic. Let's talk a little bit more about this. So accounts payable and accounts receivable are two of the most important focuses here. So let's talk first about AP automation. How does this enable better AP automation?
Sure. So, in the AP automation world, there's a lot of inefficient processes today, copying, pasting from other documents, trying to, process these things efficiently, even earning better pricing based on terms. Those sorts of things are becoming the norm. And, with SuiteBanking, we're going to be processing documents in a completely automated fashion. Evan covered this as well. We're employing AI technology to be able to read these documents, present them inside of NetSuite as a vendor bill, and then process them through various payment rails and things that can really benefit the customer, even in terms of cash flow and access to capital. So, unlike the old way, slow, a lot of typing, a lot of AP clerks, now we'll be able to do straight through processing where the document flows in, it's approved, it automatically is routed, and it can be paid by check or ACH or even virtual credit cards, which will give our customers access to terms on their payables they didn't have before.
That is, it sounds like a lot of benefit. I even heard some clapping in the crowd during Evan's keynote when he started talking about that. Let's move to accounts receivable. How does it help on the accounts receivable side?
Well, I think ERP owns a couple of processes that are touch a lot of cash. Order to cash and procure to pay. Procure to pay is really on the AR side. On the on the AP side. On the AR side, we just released a feature called PayLink, and this allows for our customers to email and invoice directly to their customers and offer it for quick and easy payment. So I think you'll see through the evolution of the program, combination of more efficient ways to do billing and more efficient ways for our customers to pay, and this creates a lot of efficiency too. Again, from a treasury management, cash discounting on invoices between buyers and sellers, we're going to be enabling all of that through SuiteBanking.
A lot of benefits on that. Let's switch back to the payment side and talk about how we're extending SuiteBanking internationally.
Well, one of the very exciting announcements we made today was our partnership with HSBC. And even in Evan's keynote, there was mention of the global wallet. We're very excited about this. It allows for a customer, regardless of where they're headquartered, to trade like a local in 60-some countries. So, with a single account. This is, revolutionary, and will bring a tremendous amount of benefit in terms of management, reducing overhead in terms of managing those accounts and so forth.
And another aspect that Evan announced around SuiteBanking was on expense automation. What's new here?
Well, I think we'll see an evolution here in expense management. The AI technology that we're using for reading vendor bills will also be applicable when it comes to expense management and no longer will you have to type in those receipts and send a photo. The system will automatically read those receipts and turn them into lines in an expense report. So it's going to be a lot easier for the people who are spending money to get paid. And further, other expense categories where maybe you've got an employee who needs to make might be as simple as getting a ladder from Home Depot. We can actually generate a single-use card just for that purpose, so that it is easy to reconcile, and those expenses are categorized appropriately right from the start.
You mentioned HSBC before. This is our partner right now for this launch, and can you talk a little bit more about how that came to be and their role in this?
Sure. We have a great partnership with HSBC that really started around the need for us to expand our foreign exchange capabilities in the core. And so we partnered with them some time ago as a foreign exchange rate provider. They provide a spot rate that all of our customers are able to use. And we got to know the team, and they're very innovative and have a great culture around the technology. And we just saw that we could really create a lot of value for our joint users as we grow that relationship.
I want to switch back to AP automation for a minute and maybe talk about it more broadly. We'll bring the other Scott into the conversation as well. What are some of the other major financial themes that we're focused on this year?
Yeah, so automation is obviously a big one. Automating, as Scott said, the order to cash and procure to pay process, and really all aspects of managing finance and accounting, from workflows, approvals, et cetera. So that's one of the main themes here. But there are three other important themes as well. And the other is using data to transform how your business operates, to drive strategy and to overall improve performance of the business. So you're going to see a lot of that I'm sure in some of your interviews and some of the sessions that we're doing while we're here. Number three is governance and risk management. Always important. Authorization is part of that, but helping organizations protect their data, which is so critical and increasingly so in Europe. And just the controls around how you spend money to manage your cash flow. And then fourth, and you heard it in the keynote this morning, powering growth. And whether that means international expansion or different business models, going direct to consumer, recurring revenue, subscription-based businesses. So those are sort of the four key themes for SuiteWorld this year.
I think it's actually worth noting that in SuiteBanking we're also bringing access to working capital in new ways.
That's very important.
Customers have got explosive growth opportunities that have shown up through the course of the pandemic. Oh no, I just landed an order with Costco or something like this, and these small businesses are have these like pivot moments. And when that happens, SuiteBanking has available. I can choose the invoice, for example, that I sent to Costco, and it's eligible for early payment. And I can bring that forward, and the SuiteBanking system will advance the cash to the customer.
So cash flow is obviously critical for all businesses. It always will be. But that internationalization part, it's going to be so expensive for a business that wants to expand. So not having to create those local banking relationships, not having to deal with the currency conversion, that's extremely valuable.
Are there other, what about taxes and things like that?
Those are other aspects of what NetSuite does. So we have SuiteTax, which handles all those local use tax, sales tax, VAT tax, and does those calculations automatically again. And we talked a lot about efficiency, but part of that is reducing errors. And whether it's SuiteBanking or the other aspect of NetSuite accounting, it's so important to get everything right, and there's so many opportunities, particularly when you're relying on manual processes, for errors to creep in, or when you're using separate applications like spreadsheets, for errors to get introduced into the data. And given the importance of data, the importance of accuracy, and again, back to compliance, anything you can do to eliminate that manual effort is going to save time, improve efficiency, and specifically reduce errors.
And Evan talked about that a lot on stage, and we just had Jason here as well. He talked about making your lives easier, but there's another aspect to it, it would seem to me, which is less resources on those tasks and more resources available for strategic thinking and planning. Absolutely. Or just other job functions that you can save money on those mundane tasks.
Yep. We've seen the role of finance change significantly. It's always evolved, but at one time, accounting was entirely backward looking. You looked at the transactions and it was just about recording and reporting. Today, finance, beginning at the CFO level, the controller, and other members of the team, they're really helping to drive strategy, support strategy. We talked about data. So anything I can do to use the people I have more effectively and allow them to use by nature, they're analytical. If you're in that field of finance and accounting, by nature, you're analytical. So anything I can do to use those talents to improve performance rather than just merely entering information. The other thing that I would say is, again, with the roles of finance and accounting changing, the criticality of how I can use that real-time view of data to manage cash and to inform how I'm allocating my capital resources is going to be critical.
We've heard a lot about all the financial capabilities that NetSuite offers. We've got a lot of sessions going on and a lot of customers exploiting the capabilities. What are some of the things that our customers are utilizing right now? And what are people talking about?
Yeah, so the first thing I would say, in addition to coming to Suite World to learn more about NetSuite and to learn more about our valuable sponsors, obviously, what I'm hearing from people is what they really value is that ability to interact with their peers and learn more how other people are using NetSuite, some of the things they're doing that are innovative, share ideas, et cetera. But other things that we're seeing, we talked a little bit about the emergence of different business models. With the pandemic, as Kevin O'Leary talked about today, people really had to adapt. And so we saw a lot of our clients going into that direct consumer and looking for other ways to expand. And I think the other thing we're seeing is, like I said, a lot about recurring revenue, moving to subscription-based businesses. That's still very, very important to our customers and the people that I've been talking to.
One of the things that Evan said on stage, Scott Derksen, was he described each of those, the AP and the AR automation functions, as full cycle AP automation. What did he mean by that? Or how would you define full cycle AP automation?
Well, I think we're really talking about a virtuous circle of efficiency that we're creating here. End-to-end automation. I think you're going to see a proliferation, actually, even of things like merchant accounts for the B2B world. Okay, so NetSuite customers have always been able to take credit cards, but suddenly somebody who maybe wasn't thought that was for retail, maybe we're going to see this shift so that the card rails are more useful, again, because it provides that lane of financing, it provides quicker payments for the seller, and so by enabling both the AR and the AP side, you create a very interesting virtuous circle in the NetSuite community. So NetSuite customers that are doing business with NetSuite customers are going to have a very efficient use of cash.
One last thing for you, Scott. We talked earlier about cash flow, visibility, and optimization, and it just seems like it's on the tip of everybody's tongue.
It is, absolutely.
In the last 18 months or so. And it was always a thing, but why do you think that's going to be a lasting
I think
thing?
It absolutely is. As you said earlier, cash is so important, always has been, always will be. But what we're doing with NetSuite is giving you that real-time access to your current cash position and the ability to make those decisions within the day as to what am I going to pay, what am I going to invest in. So that's really critical.
Yeah. Well, we got to wrap things up, but one last question. We're playing a game of Mad Lib Theater, which Kendall and I are going to perform at the end of the day. And Scott Beaver, I need you to give me a place.
A place. Patagonia.
Patagonia. All right, that's a good one. I like that one. We might have a lot of P's in this, thinking back. Scott Derksen, give me a product you can purchase.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's go with a Mini Cooper.
Oh, all right. Mini Cooper, maybe even electric. All right, this is very helpful. Thank you both. Lots of cool functionality, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks so much.